All right, let's just jump right in with a huge, kind of unsettling question. I want you to look around the room you're in right now. Look at your hands. How do you know? I mean, how can you be absolutely 100% certain that any of this is actually real?
We all tend to operate on the idea that, seeing is believing. We trust our senses to give us an accurate picture of the world. But should we? Let's start with how surprisingly easy it is to fool our own eyes. So picture this. You're in a room for what you're told is a simple vision test. A psychologist shows you a couple of lines, asks which one is shorter. It's a no-brainer. The answer is completely obvious. But then, things get weird. One by one, everyone else in the room starts giving the wrong answer. So what happens? In the actual experiment, after just a few actors gave the wrong answer, most real participants started to doubt themselves and went along with the group, denying the clear evidence of their own eyes. Just think about that. Peer pressure literally changed what they perceived as reality.
Okay, so we can't always trust what we see when we're with other people. But what about when we're alone? Well, the problem might actually be even deeper. It's not about other people. It's about our own biology.
This one's a tough pill to swallow, but here it is. You don't actually see with your eyes. You see with your brain. Your eyes are just sensors, kind of like cameras. They soak up a little bit of data from the world, and then your brain has to build your entire reality from scratch based on that limited information. And I mean really limited.
And when I say limited, that is a massive understatement. Think about all the stuff zipping through you right this second. Wi-Fi signals, radio waves, X-rays. The universe is just screaming with information. But our eyes, our biological hardware, can only perceive less than 1% of it. That 99% on the screen, that's the massive slice of reality we are completely and totally blind to.
So, this leads us to this really fascinating idea from a cognitive scientist named Donald Hoffman. He argues that evolution never cared about showing us the truth. Not at all. It just cared about keeping us alive. And to do that, it gave us a simplified user interface for reality.
And this is the perfect way to understand it. Think about your computer desktop. You see that little blue folder icon, right? But is the file really a little blue folder? Of course not. It's a ridiculously complex stream of ones and zeros. The folder icon is just a useful lie that helps you get stuff done. Hoffman says reality is the same way. We see a snake as a solid, scary object, not a swirling cloud of quantum probabilities, because seeing the icon of a snake is what helps us survive. Our perception isn't a truth detector, it's a survival tool.
Okay, so our own brains are already creating a filtered, simplified version of reality for us. But let's take this idea and just push it off a cliff. What if the whole show, the actual reality itself, is just an illusion?
Now, this idea is not as new as you might think. We're talking 2,400 years ago. The philosopher Plato imagined these prisoners chained up in a cave. All they've ever seen their whole lives are shadows dancing on the wall in front of them. For them, those shadows are reality. They don't know anything else. Plato's big warning was, what if we are all those prisoners right now?
Now let's rocket forward to today and our technology. Just look at how fast video games have evolved. In 1972, we had Pong. That's it. 2 little rectangles and a dot. Then just a few decades later, we get these incredible 3D worlds. And now we're on the verge of graphics that are literally indistinguishable from real life. So if that's what we can do in 50 years, what could we do in 1,000? And that crazy fast progress leads to a really powerful argument based on pure statistics. If any civilization gets advanced enough to create perfectly realistic simulations of their ancestors, and we're getting pretty close ourselves, why would they only make one? They'd probably make thousands, maybe billions of them to study their past. Which means we're all playing a kind of cosmic lottery. What are the odds? Is it more likely that we are the one single original base reality? Or is it more likely that we are just one of potentially billions and billions of simulations? When you just look at the raw probability, the math seems to point overwhelmingly in one direction. And here's where it gets really weird. Modern physics kind of flirts with this idea. There's this thing in quantum mechanics called the observer effect, where the fundamental particles that make up our universe literally behave differently when we're looking at them. It's almost as if reality is saving on processing power, rendering the details only when a player is actually looking. Okay, I know, this is a lot. It can feel like the floor has just completely dropped out from under you. If our senses are giving us an interface, and the universe itself might be a simulation, what can we possibly hold on to? Is anything real?
Well, you're in good company.
The philosopher René Descartes went down this exact same rabbit hole hundreds of years ago. He decided to doubt absolutely everything he could possibly doubt until he hit rock bottom. And there he found one single, undeniable truth. The very act of him doubting his own existence proved that he, the one doing the thinking, had to exist. And that is the anchor here. That's the crucial takeaway. Because even if this world is a perfect simulation, your experience of it is 100% authentic. The curiosity you're feeling right now as you listen to this, that's real. The love you have for people in your life, that is undeniably real. Your consciousness, the very thing that's having this experience, is the one thing you can be sure of.
So maybe the whole point isn't to figure out how to escape the matrix. Maybe the goal is to realize that within this reality, whatever it is, we have the power to create meaning. We have the power to find connection and joy. So the final question isn't about escaping the dream. It's about learning how to dream a better one. What do you think?